Jack, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed in you for three different things that you've done to me in the past week that have just tilted me off my axis. Do you want to know what those things are, Jack?
Yeah.
So first, okay, I have a thing in my car where I can prop my phone up so I can listen to stuff, and the first one I bought for $5, and it sucked, and it would always fall off. And one time I had my phone on it, and it fell off and landed on my center console and just shattered. So there's this new law in Minnesota where you can't touch your phone or whatever. You can't have your phone in your hand. So I had to get this new one. I got it from my dad, right? And it wobbles all the time, like it wobbles all over the place. But like sometimes it'll be like in there, and it'll, like my phone, whenever I turn left in my car, will fall right, and it'll push the button to turn off my radio. And I have an FM transmitter, so it sucks. But I had this perfect point where I jammed it in my like air vent thing, and it did not move. And you were in my car like a week ago today, and your phone was in it because you had aux, and you just yanked the whole thing out. You yanked it out, and it took me maybe an hour of adjusting to get it exactly in the right spot.
You know what? I apologize. That was a pretty shitty thing I did, and I didn't have any common courtesy when I did that, and for that, I'm very sorry.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Jack. That was an accident, so I'm not actually mad at you for that. I thought it would be a funny bit if I talked about it. However, in preparation for episode 1 of the Loudmouth podcast, the Be Quiet podcast, I sent you the logo, which was, I thought it was a very like cool friendship moment. You were the first person to ever see the logo. And within maybe 10 minutes, I had this big thing planned out where I was going to like reveal it on my story. And you posted on your story, and you're like, guys, check out the new podcast. I'm going to be on it pretty much. Let's go. And I was like, all right, maybe I had something planned, Jack Dunn.
Well, you could have told me that.
No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. I'm also not mad at you for that. The main thing I'm mad at you for is that I had to spend like 2 hours editing the last podcast, bleeping out you, name dropping.
Okay, it wasn't just me. It was Notch, too.
Okay, Notch was the main problem. You know, there's also... Is it just me and you in this podcast?
I don't know. Is it?
I think we need to address the blonde elephant in the room.
Why, hello there.
Why, hello? Okay. First line on the podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Karl Warner, and today we are here in Lucas's basement to record the best podcast in the world, the Be Quiet podcast.
That's a great fucking anecdote you just had, Karl.
It's funny, Karl, because I could have sworn like 2 weeks ago you were talking about how much you loved Logan Paul's podcast.
Well, you know,
yeah.
I love Impulsive, but it's nothing compared to the Be Quiet podcast.
For context, Karl has not fully listened to episode 1 yet, so he doesn't know the part where we just...
Well, it's not my fault that episode 1 came out 45 minutes ago.
We just lampooned him at the end of that episode, didn't we, Jack Dunn?
That we did.
No, I'm just kidding. We didn't actually lampoon
Well, I
you,
guess
Karl.
I'll have to listen. Like everyone else listening to this right now should listen till the end. And then listen to next week's episode.
You got really creepy. Episode 1 was I don't know. It hasn't gotten the full I don't know what happened. I don't think anybody as of the time of us recording this has fully seen the episode yet, because it hasn't been an hour.
I'm like taking it in.
Right. Well, no. What time is it right now? What time is it? I cannot see on my phone. Someone else look on their phone.
I don't have mine on.
Oh my god.
Here.
It's like 4.
Well, we don't want a like, Jack. It's been 41 minutes since the podcast.
Okay, it's been 41 minutes since the podcast has launched, which means that nobody has heard the whole thing yet. Mathematically.
Unless they watch it on double speed.
Unless they listen to it on double speed. In that case, fair play. But it was very interesting to that first episode because it was kind of like a testing ground for how long it would actually take to make these episodes. And you know, I'd like when I did you know, the memes, I posted memes on my Instagram account like in the beginning of like 9th grade. I posted them daily, but obviously not a lot of things were happening so where I could post them daily, and then I just got really lazy. But you know, but this I think is just so it's not that hard to make. Like if I were to make videos in the future, about things that aren't the podcasts, I think those would take longer. But because this is just audio and me going and editing out names, and really bad swear words like Jack Dunn always uses, it does.
I'm flipping him off right now.
Yeah, Jack Dunn is flipping me off with both of his very elongated middle fingers.
I have very big hands.
You do have very big hands. And you know what they say about people with big hands?
Big feet.
Yes, big feet. So, yeah, it took me, like, the longest thing it took me to do was, like, do the thumbnail. And I think that just editing the original episode, like, cropping out Jason Kubel's head and putting whatever in there this week, whatever we're going to talk about, and then changing, like, the number or whatever and the people that are on it. So it's not going to take that long to do.
Yeah, you got a full template for it.
Exactly. So I think that it's why I mentioned the meme thing earlier. I think that it's going to be more easy for me to do it on a consistent basis. Obviously, I'm not going to do it every day or like twice a week. Maybe. I don't know how much I'm doing later on in the year, obviously, but as of right now, I'd like to do it once a week because obviously I have 3 spare hours in my week to make out an episode of the podcast because it takes like an hour to film and then takes like an hour to edit it or whatever.
Yeah, because you work at boy.
Nope, I have to bleep that out. I can't say that. 6 to 6. That's $1, Jack.
Fuck!
For this episode, we decided...
We have made a new rule.
Yes.
Carl, you want to explain it?
Carl, you wanna explain
the
it?
new rule is that whenever someone says something that causes a bleep, that person owes 50 cents to the other people in the podcast. Right now, it's only the 3 of us, so So Jack Dunn owes 50 cents to both myself and Lucas. If this keeps adding up, then it just keeps going up to $1, $2, etc. But if I say something that requires to bleep, then Jack doesn't have to pay me, but he still has to pay Lucas.
Right.
So the math offsets. But that's the new rule.
So Lucas, basically this is a get rich quick.
This basically
quick
before I hit
Lucas.
before in like the billion episodes before I hit 1,000 subscribers, before I can get like 4 cents an episode, I'm making like 30 cents an episode from each of you guys. I don't think that math adds up, but you know, who cares?
So today we should probably talk about what all 3 of us represent. A common unity known as the one. No, I'm getting somewhere. I promise.
You're
Listen
really
up, folks.
you're really overhyping it.
We're getting to the most infamous squadron of people.
Oh, about to bleep that out.
Oh my god. Yes, I don't owe anything now.
Damn it!
So for your bitch ass, Carl.
We are known as the Wall Squad.
I don't think we're really known as the Wall Squad. We call ourselves the Wall Squad.
We call
That
ourselves
is true.
the Wall Squad.
It's just the 3 of us.
And this originates back to freshman year.
In study hall in freshman year, me, Karl, and Jack got into all sorts of shenanigans.
As well as many others.
But it was primarily us 3. I mean, we really didn't do anything. We didn't really do anything. We didn't really get into shenanigans.
Yeah, we didn't get into actually.
We weren't actually, doing homework.
Yeah.
What are you looking for, Jack?
My fucking keys.
Your keys?
Your keys.
You're gonna drive away in the middle of the
I just
episode?
want to know where they are.
How about let's wait for the episode to be over and then we can look for the keys,
Okay.
The quarter rule, by the way, Jack Dunn. Do you want to talk about where that originated?
Yes, I do. Okay. So, freshman year, me and Lucas are assigned.
Probably put the first letters of our names next to these.
Are you just gonna fucking interrupt me like that?
No, I'll remember.
What the fuck?
Shh.
Okay, I'm sorry. So, freshman year, me and Lucas are assigned a project. It's a Greek mythology project about the myth of Echo and Narcissus. And it took us a while to
See,
film.
what happened was we had a third guy with us that would film us, and he was in the video too. Mm-hmm. But there's a part at the end where we need to just give a recap of the thing, and we were sitting at this table.
We ended up getting 50 out of 50 on this, so it was
We
pretty
did
good.
get a good score. However, you, Jack, we took so many tries because we filmed the video and then Jack couldn't figure out how to make it like in landscape mode. Jack Dunn just found his keys, by the way. It was sitting like 4 feet from him.
Like on top of a table. Like
So
not
he
even
didn't
being
know that
hidden.
you could just go in iMovie and literally just move the picture, like the video. So we ended up doing the whole thing twice. And Jack Dunn just messed up his lines, and I messed up my lines a couple times, but we messed up our lines a lot. I think we said did we say that we were going to give it to each other, or we were going to donate it as a charity?
No, it was definitely charity.
I don't think we ever did, though, did we?
No, sorry, but we're not exactly rich folk.
We're not well, I mean, we can afford to give $1.75 to charity.
Yeah, that's like giving, you know what, let's just not go there.
Okay.
We support charities, we support local charities.
What? No, we do not. What charity do you support, Jack Dunn?
Did you go to the Dig Pink volleyball game?
I did. So
Then yeah, you supported that charity.
Well, you have to fucking censor that.
Do I have to censor
How
that?
do we have to support the Dig Pink? Okay,
Two censors.
This has to be done at like a lot of different high schools rather than the high school.
How about this? How about this, Carl? I'll write the time down, and then I'll Google if that's a thing at other high schools.
Yeah.
And if it isn't, then you owe.
So there was a very popular volleyball game.
There you go.
Thursday
Yeah, there
night
we go.
During homecoming week at the high school that we go to, and all of the proceeds, or at least most of them, went to a charity supporting breast cancer
Breast cancer awareness. Yes.
Get a grip, man.
I'm sorry, I'm blonde.
Trying to clarify for you.
I'd like to confirm that I am blonde, and that gives me the excuse for.
Oh, you sound just like my girlfriend.
Every time she says something, it's like, okay, I'm blonde. You can.
No, like whenever she like goofs up or makes a mistake, and she's like, "I'm such a blonde."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack done with the flex that he actually has a girlfriend. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, I'm not flexing.
No, I'm just kidding. So homecoming week was this week. The game is tonight. We're recording it
Prior
to the game, prior to the dance. That I do not know if I'm attending as of right now. Probably not, because I don't have a date.
I'm attending.
I think that I'm not going to attend.
Give me your ticket.
Karl is reaching into his wallet and actually giving Jack Dunn his ticket that he spent money on.
Give me $3.
Okay.
There's a transaction happening live on the pod. Karl Warner is scalping tickets right now. Jack Dunn had exactly $3 in his wallet,
That's all the
too.
cash I had.
You're welcome.
So what we do at our school is we have dress. I don't know if it's do people do that every school? Dress up days on homecoming.
Usually, yeah.
So
Our neighboring city to the north of us was also doing dress up days, and their Thursday theme was also pink. So
I'd like to clarify that I think that.
And I have a friend that goes to a different high school over in a different region of our state.
We're being as vague as possible.
Can we mention what state we're from?
People know we're. If you listen to
we were
episode
talking
9,
about we were talking about the
Jason
twins.
Kubel the whole
talking
episode.
about the
Fine. So I have a friend that goes to Shakopee High School, and her high school had actually good themes.
Okay,
this
well you
week.
just said. Nah, who cares?
Well, it's Shakopee High School, okay? Like,
Okay.
who cares?
Who cares?
Who
My name is
cares?
Karl. Oh.
Yeah, whatever. But anyway, they had good homecoming themes this week.
Such as-
Well, they had a Blaze Orange Day, and you know what? That's a lot better than
Okay,
Yeah.
I'd like to.
all black
I'd like to
versus
say
all
that
gray.
we had 5 dress up days. One of them was just dress up in our school colors, which is what we do every year. That's cool, whatever. And then
That was today.
2 of them we've already done. We had a pink day, and then we had a jersey day. We
Which
already
we already have
did
done for
that.
football
We already did that for
themes.
football, football Friday Night Light
Yeah,
themes.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
On Tuesday we did tie dye, and since it's a high school, we're not 4, and nobody owns.
You know
tie-dye.
what? You know
Yeah,
what? I disagree.
I only own
you know
one
what?
piece of tie-dye, and it's from 2nd grade, and it's pink, and it
You know
definitely
what?
doesn't
You
fit
know what?
me anymore.
You know what though? I disagree. I thought the tie dye was cool, and I made a shirt, and it was fun.
You made a shirt?
I thought you got it out of your sister's closet.
Yeah, that she made.
so
she made
So
the
you
shirt.
didn't make it.
True.
Karl.
Okay, but I don't think it's bad though.
No.
And, okay.
I'm not saying that they're bad.
No offense to
I think only one of them is bad, and that was the all gray versus.
Yeah, no
all
It was
offense
all
to
gray
our
versus-
student council. I think they're great, but I hope Snow Week is better.
And I
think that they. I think that they
if there
knew.
is seriously no twin day, I will create an uprising that will make a twin day on a random day in April.
They're yeah. So I think that people in the student council were kind of like, yeah, they're not that good this year, but
Which and they're great.
Well, the themes, not the people in student council.
let me. Karl said earlier that the only thing of tie dye he had was when he was in 2nd grade. I actually did wear something from when I was in 2nd grade.
Well, I'm sorry that I'm not the same size T-shirt that I was in.
I
2nd
wasn't. I
grade,
wore it
Lucas.
over a different T-shirt.
Which was very funny, and our English teacher called him out. for
My
it.
English teacher called me out for it. I wore leg warmers on Pink Day, and my study hall teacher called me out for it. And every teacher called me out because I wore this 80s like tracksuit today from my grandpa who used to coach. And every teacher called me out for it because every teacher knew my grandpa. So it was kind of, I got on the spot. But what Karl was talking about with Twin Day is there is a day we also do it in Snow Week, which is in, what is it, April?
No,
early,
February.
February.
I don't remember. But what?
No, it's
January.
It's January.
Last
It's
week of
January
January.
because it's the same week as like the talent show thing.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of our talent show.
No, wait. We could talk about that in a couple
talk
seconds.
about that.
Okay.
We're talking about Snow Week.
My apologies.
So in the last 2 years of us being at high school, since we're juniors now, we've had Twin Day where you dress up exactly like one of your friends.
Exactly.
In the same outfit. And it's been in Homecoming Week 2 years in a row. And we got really disappointed this year because it wasn't a part of Homecoming
No,
Week.
it was never in Homecoming Week.
Yes,
it was a Snow
No,
Week
it was.
thing.
It's always
are
Snow
you
Week.
absolutely
The homecoming days are always not as good as Snow Week days.
Yeah.
Like people are like, oh, there's no dress up like your favorite teacher day. It's like, yeah, we've had this teacher for a month. You think we're gonna know everything about
That's
them?
a Snow Week theme.
Yeah,
but they
Snow
also-
Week. Snow Week is usually better than Homecoming.
Yeah, go ahead.
But there's one of our friends. I think we were talking about Simon in the last episode. We can talk about him, right? We said we were talking about how Jonach threw the frisbee at the sign and then Simon helped pick it up, and then we're like,
Simon, if you're listening to this right now, you're a beauty, and we
were basically sucking his dick in the last episode, so we might as well continue in this episode.
Yeah.
Where I dress up, me and him twin, but he has much longer hair than I do, so I wear a wig, and then
It's hilarious.
and I told Jack Dunn, I think I've told Jack Dunn every year that I want to do one with him because he wears a very peculiar outfit every day to school, where he wears like pretty fancy clothing that's way more. He has a way more expensive taste in clothing than I have. So I thought it'd be very funny to dress up like him, but he disagreed. I think maybe I said I was going to go as you for Halloween. You said no.
Oh yeah,
maybe that was
if
it.
We can do a twin day.
Twin day
I don't
is
want
fine.
you to go as me for Halloween.
No.
Because I think that's like
I already know what I'm going to do for Halloween this year.
what
Is that a spoiler?
I'm not going to spoil it.
okay.
It continues with the theme of what I've been for Halloween the past since fourth grade.
Can I talk about the fucking talent show now?
Yeah, we could talk about the talent show.
Can we call it by the
No,
actual name?
just call it the talent
We're just
show.
calling it the
Everybody who let's
I am in the most right about all of us.
let's face it. Everybody who's listening to this knows us personally. As of right now, it's episode 2.
But
nobody's going to be listening to it that doesn't know us. So I think it's safe to say that the talent show that we can talk about the talent show just in case. And everybody will know what we're talking about, so we don't have to say the actual name of the talent show.
I have a really funny story about the talent show. So in 5th grade, Karl J. Warner.
Am I gonna get your perspective, or
First of all,
you're gonna get the perspective of most people.
First of all, this is a completely different talent show than what Karl was
This
about to
was in
talk about.
5th grade.
No, I hate.
We
it
talked
because
about talent shows in the last
Some people
episode,
call
too.
it the 5th grade talent show. No, it was the whole middle school talent show.
Well, it was during when we were in 5th grade.
Well, it was when I was in 5th grade. It was when the 8th graders were in 8th grade. It was literally like me eating the whole school.
So Karl won the talent show, and the joke is that his mom was a teacher. And
However, there was
a
another
judge.
participant in this talent show that had a mother as a teacher in the same school. So
Karl, here's the
that
thing,
argument is invalid because this person got third place as
Really?
well as I did. I mean, as well as I got first, this person got third. It doesn't matter. I was just a better, I had more performance value. It doesn't mean I was, a better singer than anyone. But, I was like, oh, my gosh, look at this cute little kid that's singing about motorboating in Pontoon.
That was funny. If you listen very, very closely in the last episode, you can hear Marcus mentioned Karl singing Pontoon because we were talking about the talent show in the last week's episode. That's why I'm kind of I don't know if we should talk about it 2 weeks in a row. But I think that since we have Karl, that he was talking about, I think that we can have him on.
Yeah,
I think we can talk about it twice.
And Karl has tried out for our high school talent show 2 years in a row and has not gotten in.
I have not gotten
in a row
either times.
And
sometimes it feels like last year in particular, I felt like I was the only person who tried out who didn't get in. But there was one duet of a couple of guys that didn't get in. So I know it's not a fact, but sometimes it was frustrating to me last year because I felt like I had a better chance of getting in than I was a freshman. Then again, I was singing a song that should be performed by an entire cast.
That's what I was about to say. I thought that you had a better chance freshman year because you chose a better song.
Yeah, a song that's sung by one person.
This year, last year, sophomore year, Karl chose to sing "The Greatest Show," which is is that the opening?
It's the opening number from The Greatest Showman.
The Greatest Showman, which requires the entire cast of
primarily sung by Hugh Jackman, who plays the leading character, but it is basically sung by the entire cast.
You should have done the entire thing dressed as Wolverine.
make a couple Deadpool references.
Here's the thing.
People who listen to this aren't
Here's
going
the
to know
thing,
what we're
though.
talking about. We have a bunch of Zoomers in the...
Our talent show at our school is
It's
one of
kind of a big deal.
It's one of the biggest deals of the year. At our talent show last year was during Snow Week, like I said. And
Well,
during,
it's always during Snow
and
Week.
during
It's-
Snow Week,
yeah.
our school got canceled 4
Yeah,
days
we had
in a
4
row.
snow days in a row.
4 snow days in a row during Snow Week.
But they still held the variety show on the same night.
Yes.
They didn't cancel it.
Yeah.
They didn't cancel the variety show, thank God. And me and Lucas went to the variety show.
Who cares?
Yeah, who
Okay,
cares?
it's called the variety show, talent show. It's the same thing.
We'll just keep calling it a talent show to see if this blows over, and people will forget about that. We said
Yeah,
variety show.
yeah,
Whatever. It's interchangeable. So
I mean, it's not. But we're gonna
shut
keep,
the
we're gonna-
fuck up, Carl.
So...
You know what? No. All right.
Okay,
So we're gonna.
can I
keep going with the
continue?
talent show.
Yeah.
So, me and Lucas go to the talent show, and we have great seats, front row to the left,
Yeah.
or to the right of the. Yeah,
we
to
weren't
the
by
left
any of
the stage.
our group of friends. but
Which
we
was
were-
okay, but-
Which was okay. We had a good time.
Yeah, and so during the middle of someone's performance, Kahoot music starts.
Yeah, no,
playing.
we noticed there was like a lady who was like managing the computers and stuff, and we could see that they had a Kahoot, so we were like, hi, we're like, oh, there's a Kahoot. I can see the code. I'm getting in already. I'm naming myself my Instagram handle so people follow me. But then we saw it. All of a sudden, during someone's performance, like they're just about to start, they had like their back turned because they're going to do like an epic turnaround. Kahoot music started playing. Everybody started laughing, and this lady who was I don't really want to. I don't know if we should like talk about it because I don't know, want to get in trouble. Well, I think that we're being discreet enough so people don't know what we're talking about. But this lady did not know how to close a tab on Chrome. All she had to do was click X. So she was like freaking out, pushing it. It was like a minute of her just looking at the computer. Then she hauls ass and runs up the stairs behind her.
Everyone's looking at her.
So everybody's like, what the heck? And this one kid comes, closes the tab. And that's all he had to do.
That kid who closed the tab, beauty. by
Beauty,
the way.
absolute beauty. I actually saw him on vacation. Like, we were on 2 separate vacations. I was up north, right? And I was walking, it was walking down like I don't know how, detailed that has to be, but I was walking down like a road, I guess. And he was walking down the street, and he said he was camping.
Yeah.
While we were on our family vacation. He's like, what are you doing up here? So that was a very big coincidence.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, like, I really hope I do make this show next year. Tryouts will be next January. I just think it'd be a great way. Like,
You're trying to get your talents out there, Carl. I think you deserve
no,
it.
my talent's already out there. I just want to be able to perform on that stage in the variety show.
This is the biggest weird flex, but okay, like, speech.
No,
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
So, like, yeah. It's a bit frustrating after you, like, win the middle school talent and this sounds like awful, like crazy.
Well, yeah, but
it's a bit frustrating after you win a school talent show to be denied twice in a row. But it's my own fault, and I just have to bring my best thing to the table.
and overall, and I don't know, I don't think we talked about it, but me and Jack don't have a running joke every year where we just say justice for Carl.
Justice for Karl.
We put it on Snapchat, and we're like, dude, this school messed up again. They didn't put Carl in the talent show.
When I put that on my Snapchat story, most people swipe up and say, "What the fuck happened?"
Every single person is like, what happened to him? Did he get suspended? Wouldn't be out of the ordinary for Carl, let's be honest.
Oh yeah, let's tell that story.
No. I don't know if we should tell that
Can
story.
we cut that out?
No, we're fine.
We're
All right.
fine. We won't
We're
tell.
fine. Okay.
Carl's a goody two
Carl, we
shoes.
love you.
Carl's a goody two shoes.
Bruh.
Speaking of goody two shoes, Carl,
sophomore year was the first year that I had never been to the principal's office for anything once.
Yeah, I haven't
Really?
been in the principal's office since 7th grade.
I haven't been to the principal's office since 8th grade. We're not going to talk about it very much. I have never gotten a detention though. That's all important.
Carl, have you gotten a detention?
I think he's
I have not gotten
he's technically not got a
I
detention.
have not gotten a detention.
Okay, why'd you? Let's
No.
talk about why-
No. We're fine. How did you get a detention, Jack?
Yeah, 1,
In what grade?
6th.
For what?
I called this kid a cunt. And my fucking math teacher heard me and she gave me a detention.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, Carl, you haven't gotten in trouble recently, but have you gotten in trouble ever? You're a working man now, Carl. Have you gotten in trouble at work?
So yeah, a couple times. Not like
I
huge.
actually did not know anything about. This is not scripted at all. I do not know anything about Karl's work.
Okay, so anyway, I work at a grocery store.
Yes, you do.
It's almost as embarrassing as Lucas working at.
You knew it. You knew it. You knew you were doing that.
All right, so I work at a grocery store, and it's not like a national chain grocery store. It's
Yes,
more like,
it is.
No, it's
No,
not.
no.
It's strictly like Minnesota region.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, great. Now everyone knows the
Yeah.
grocery store.
No. We're fine. We're fine. Calm down.
So anyway, we were. My favorite part about work is when the only people, because I'm a cashier,
Right.
and typically
As am I.
So like my favorite part of work is when the people down at the front doing cashiering is like all teenagers, because it's typically like I'm 16.
Correct.
But like it typically goes up to like the kids that work there is like 16 to like 21-ish, and I have a group of friends there that are in that age range. And whenever it's just kids up there and the manager is this other girl who's like 22, but she's also like she's like a fun person.
She's very youthful.
She's a very youthful person. She's like a Visco girl. If that's
Okay.
but no, that's not the best way to describe her. But like she's
You kind of just made her sound
she's
cringy.
she's a young person. So when it's just all of us down at the front and like no one over the age of 30, it is so much fun because none of us are like getting complained at. None of us are like doing our jobs like super strict. Like we're just like hanging out and we're like we're doing our jobs when it's needed, but like we don't have to be like super strict about doing our jobs. And I think that's like, I know what work isn't supposed to be fun, but I think
Right.
that if you don't have fun while you're working, why are you there?
Right. I think it's one of the best things about working at especially since we're doing the podcast, is that since so much it's just another place to go where things can happen.
Yeah.
Like there's so much random people that come into where I work. I met, like if Mother Goose was real, this lady was it. Like this lady, like
Phyllis?
Phyllis from the office. She was talking to her kid. It sounded like she was reading off a script. She's like, okay, now the people in the back are going to put some meat on the stove, on the grill, and they're gonna cook your burger. And then you're gonna put it in your mouth and eat it, and you're gonna grow because you're a growing little boy, and you're my little boy. And this kid, it was so it was like I was legitimately creeped out. Like she's like, yep, and on the TV, because there's a TV where I work, on the TV that man is walking to his farm. That's where they raise all the cattle and grow all the crops, so we have food to eat, and so you can grow up.
Fuck!
It was very creepy. I was like,
Wait, was this like a mom or a grandma?
No, it was like a mom. It was a mom.
Oh,
it was a
that's
mom
terrible.
of like this toddler, and this kid came up to me. He was very nice. I mean, she's obviously doing a good job as a parent, but she was like, the kid came up to me and I needed to like do something, like make ice cream or whatever, and he's like, I want vanilla with sprinkles. Thank you. And I was like, oh, I mean, whatever. That's always nice.
So what I'm getting here is that
I'm creeped
this
out.
mom
No.
is possessing this
No,
child.
it was creepy. And then this kid, he walks away. He's like, "I'm a growing toddler." It's like, what the fuck?
That's
Could you imagine, like
creepy
me,
as
like
fuck.
someone when you're like, that's weird. Like I couldn't imagine. I've had like my brother. I was there throughout his entire like growing up, and he never said anything like that. And my mom never said any of that. Not that my mom isn't like that.
Well,
She's not Mother Goose.
I'm
She's
not
like.
saying that woman is a bad parent, but
It was very weird.
It's like extra as fuck.
She's very extra,
Right.
And like, there's not like I preach this a lot to like the underclassmen, like kids that hang out with me, like in the music department of the school. Like, there's nothing wrong with being extra, but don't be surprised when you get made fun of. for
Yeah,
being
Exactly.
extra.
especially like on the podcast episode 1 where Joe Nash just railed on the choir kids.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm starting
We're
to
all
get into that
choir.
part.
We're all choir.
I did defend the choir
As
kids.
did I.
I did, but whatever.
Well, there's a certain level, like y'all do select chorale.
Which you have to try out for.
Right. No, you don't.
You guys are in a very select chorus.
Right.
You guys are in like, we're in the top we're in the top curricular choir at our high school.
Yes.
However, I am also in our varsity show choir. I do solo ensemble. I do honor choir.
Why are you just flexing?
Because like we need.
Well, is it
we
really
need-
flexing though?
It's not flexing.
choir.
It's just choir. There's nothing to flex. It's just music. I also I lettered in choir, and y'all will letter in choir in 2 years.
All right.
So I mean, but there are some people that
Have you lettered, Jack?
I don't even know if I'm gonna do it next year. To be
Speaking
honest.
of letters,
Have you lettered at all?
Academically.
Speaking of letters, yeah, the academic letter, I was, and we all know this story, but I was giving a presentation to some first-year Spanish kids on why they should go on a field trip next week, and
For Spanish Honor Society.
no, for a Spanish club, so they could do their like a big assignment where they need to do like a cultural experience.
Oh, I
Right.
see.
So the restaurant is it's like a popular place in like South St. Paul, and I'm giving this presentation to these like Spanish 1 kids on why they should go, and when I get back to my my college English class.
Okay, it's not a college.
When I get back to-
Carl is flexing. It's an English. Let's just say it's your English.
When I get back to
class.
my English class, AP English. When I get back to my
Oh
AP
my
English
God.
class, Mr. My teacher, he tells me, and Jack was in this class, so he can vouch for me this. He says, so our principal, not like our top principal, but one of our like
like the assistant principal.
our assistant principal just came.
Oh,
he
this
was
is funny.
he was looking for you, and he wants to give you an award. And I'm like, oh
was
shit!
creepy.
What does this mean?
He sounds like this person is like the father of Mother Goose.
He wants to give you an award, and you should probably find him by the end of the day. And I'm like, oh fuck! And like every bad thing that I've done in the last
Did you
3
think
years.
that you were in trouble?
I thought I was.
For the record, he does not sound like that. Our English
Well,
teacher.
Well, he has like a lower like level speaking voice. No, he is like.
What are you talking
He's like
about?
he's like
like a quieter voice.
He's gonna like like
He's very
quieter.
calm
Not like fucking Mother
Carl,
Goose at
you-
we're at the place of your work.
at the place of my work.
So
And that
essentially,
guy over there, that man over there, is cleaning the tables. So there's a nice place for nice families like you and me to eat their
and
food.
you see, that
It's like,
man over there is cleaning this
It's just
table.
like- that
this
just
man is
freaks me out.
This man
This
is
man makes less than nine. No, I'm just
this
kidding.
man who is cleaning the table. That's why you need a college education, Billy.
It was very weird.
So essentially, I think
I feel like that like that's just not normal behavior.
Well, obviously not. That's why I told the story on the podcast.
Well, yeah, but like some should seriously.
well,
No, you should hear
no,
some of the
no,
other
no.
stories I
Yeah.
hear. Let's let Carl finish, and then we can talk about
So,
crazy people.
At
that
this
come in.
point, I think I'm in so much trouble because it sounds like my teacher is trying to tell me, like, secretly, without the class, like, knowing, yeah, buddy, you're in trouble. Go to the office now. So I'm like, oh, God, what is happening? Like, every bad thing I've ever done in, like, the last 3 years is just been racing through my mind. And then he says, oh, the principal's, like, right across the hallway in the other room. You should just go meet him now.
and I was in the other room as well, and the principal was in the middle of talking and giving
And-
us the academic letters in
and
our
then
class.
I walk-
Carl busts in as he's reading names, and he says,
Mr. Principal, are you looking for me? And then he says, yeah, I'll get you later. Go outside. So I go back out to like the hallway area, and then as he finishes up with that class, I start to realize while he's reading off what's going on in that classroom. Oh, okay, this is what I've done. But like then he comes out to me and he gives me my academic letter, shakes my hand, and then he just says congratulations, and then the instant relief just flows over me.
Yeah.
But it's really odd because like.
It was so funny.
I don't really pride myself on good grades that often. Middle school, I was straight. Like, I would always get C's in math and, like, B's and A's and basically everything else. Freshman year, I got A's and B's and everything. Last year, I got, out of the 14 total classes, like 7 per semester, I got 13 A's, or a form of an A, I'm going to count an A minus. I got 13 A's.
what did you get a B in?
1 B. Because English 10. I mean, I was really, like, I got frustrated by that class by May, so I just gave up. And then I started to realize that if I was still giving up on my effort, then I would have probably finished that class with a C, and I was not willing to do that. So I had to do everything in my power to keep that class a B, but that was the only B I had last year. So my GPA was still over a 3.7.
So, question for you, Carl.
Yeah.
Is we kind of stood off to talk about that I kind of wanted you to talk about. Have you ever had any wacky customers come into where you work?
So essentially, I work at a grocery
A
store.
grocery
we
store,
know.
we already
We,
know,
we,
yeah.
we said that you fuck.
You know what?
Calm down, Jack.
So our hours
Jackson
are
is getting impatient, so that's why he always.
Our-
You could tell in the last episode, like I was in the middle of a story, and Jackson goes, "Shut the fuck up."
So our hours at this grocery store is 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. And I have
Wait, you
worked.
guys are open 24 hours?
Oh my
Say
god.
Walmart,
We hate getting that question asked because we used to be 24 hours and then we changed a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so anyway, And like the only reason I've learned this working at this place is that the only reason why Walmart goes 24 hours is so they can restock during like 2 a.m., 4 a.m. and like no one comes in. That's when they restock. That's why they're always like on top.
That's cap.
But anyway,
That is not cap.
We used to go to Walmart all the time during the summer.
Yeah, not at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
No.
1 a.m.
Yeah, but they weren't. It's not 1 isn't 2. That's
it's not
a different
like 3.
number.
Like here's
Okay,
my
continue.
my
Okay, it
philosophy
doesn't matter.
is that like staying up late can be like 2 a.m., but 4 a.m., 3 a.m. that's like the territory of you're either staying up way too late, like that's really stupid, or that's a really early morning and you're trying to catch a flight.
Right.
The magical 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. time period is like the crackhead
That's the
area.
dead zone.
That's the dead zone.
The crackhead area.
Well, I
okay.
shouldn't have said crackhead because I'm actually
Essentially
getting
that.
into. So I've worked every hour between 6 a.m. and 11 p.m.
Uh-huh.
And
You have?
I well not
No,
not
at
the same
different
day,
times,
but like
at different
no,
I
times.
know, you've worked at 6 a.m. before?
Oh yeah, it's honestly not that bad because you get done before like
During the summer?
Yeah. So I finished, like when I have a shift that's like 7 to 11, I call it. I get really excited for that last hour because I call it crackhead hour. It's 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. and if you go grocery shopping at 10:30 p.m. you better have a reason, like it's like a small medical thing, like you need some bandages or you need some gauze or like you need like milk or eggs or something. But like if you come in there and actually shop and get like 4 different food items at 10:30 p.m., we've got bigger problems than you missing a couple groceries at home.
Yeah, that's kind of like where I work. We close at 10, but people still come in at fucking 9:58.
So essentially,
Which is fine. It's like, I mean, it's just a problem when I have to take time out of closing to like give someone an order, and then they're like, "I think I'm gonna sit down." It's like, no.
No, you're not.
We already vacuumed.
Have you had to kick people out before? For
No,
that?
never. One time, it was like there's like a graduation party going on, like like not a grad party, but like a graduation party for the entire school. Like it was the day that the graduation was happening, and I had to close. But then we closed at 10, and people were just coming in, and they were just waiting in line. I ended up giving out someone an order who ended up sitting down in the restaurant. I gave out their order at 10:02 p.m. I was like, "You're shitting me!" And I knew these kids, like they were on my tennis team, and they were like, "Lucas," and I was like, "Hi, how are you doing?" No, I'm just kidding.
So like,
Oh, Carl.
damn it, I mentioned it. So is it policy of this restaurant that you work at to like not tell people to go away at a certain time?
I mean, there's like a decent customer service thing. Where did you put the pencil jack?
I threw it.
Where?
No, I threw it against the wall.
So like, my craziest, I got a couple, like I call it crackhead hour because I've met a couple of people at that time of day that like you meet a couple normal people, like I said, with like the whole like bandages thing or
Right.
like buying like eggs, but like
Gotta get those eggs at
gotta get
10:30.
those eggs at 10:30. You never know. So anyway, there was this one. Jack Dunn is flipping me off.
The main reason that you need to get eggs at 10:30 is to egg Jack Dunn's house.
Go fuck yourself.
Same reason to get toilet paper.
Yeah.
As we saw today. If you don't know, Jack Dunn's house got TP'd today.
Jack Dunn's house got destroyed. I actually
It
don't.
wasn't-
And his backyard.
It was my backyard.
How do they get to your backyard? Okay, wait. We need to
I don't
finish.
know. Maybe they go onto the path adjacent to my house and then.
Let's finish the Karl story, and then we could talk about
So this
vandalism.
a man and a woman who like both like young 30s came in with like a small child. When I say small child, I mean like probably
3.
like 3. No, not even 3. Like probably like 1.5. Even if
Could
that.
they walk?
No, they couldn't walk.
And was this woman saying, "So now we're going to the grocery store,
No,
and this
she
man is
wasn't.
gonna check us out and make sure that our groceries make their way home, so they can get tucked safely into our cupboard." It sounds like something off of PBS
It
Kids.
seriously
Yes.
does.
It sounds
that's
like
so
it sounds
scary.
like Caillou's mom.
That's so scary. Like if I actually saw that,
I was like, this
I would
person
be
is
like,
possessed.
The
I'd be
biggest
like,
problem-
What the fuck is wrong with you and your fucking terrible
This,
parenting?
like,
No,
not to go off
not
on
a
a
terrible
tangent,
parent.
but the biggest thing about Caillou that pisses everyone
Okay,
off
going off on a
is
Caillou
that,
tangent.
is that
Caillou's annoying. Is the
no,
problem.
Caillou's a spoiled
Caillou's an
brat.
annoying little fuck, but his parents are so entitling that the parents are the problem, not Caillou.
His
Because-
parents are like, "Oh, Caillou, you're crying because you didn't get a fucking raspberry pie. You got a cherry pie. oh, we'll run to the store and buy you. I don't actually know. I didn't really.
Yeah, but back to
I don't remember a lot of episodes.
Basically, so a young couple, when I say like young 30s, comes in with their like 1-year-old son, and the son is like sitting in that area of the cart where like the child like is secure like up top,
right?
Like where you push the cart, and essentially they come through my line. And
how many fucking times am I saying essentially?
Essentially,
essentially, we're gonna go and get some groceries.
Essentially, they tax us relentlessly.
Wait, what?
Just Britain keeps shitting us
Shut the-
endlessly.
okay,
Sorry,
continue.
I'm going on a Hamilton tangent.
Fucking story.
So anyway, what happened was they come through my line and then they check out like a can of Mountain Dew.
One can of Mountain Dew.
That's
A
it.
can of Mountain Dew, and they look at the ad because we have a new ad every week that like shows like what's on sale, and it was like 2 for $1 on like large size Dorito bags that week. So
Yeah.
they have a regular like nacho Dorito in the cart, but they also have a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos.
Do they have a bag of sweet spicy chili?
No,
They're already doing it wrong.
So the bag
Shut
of cool
the fuck
the bag
up.
of Cool Ranch Doritos has already been opened. And the young child is eating it.
Nice.
Is
That's
eating
awesome. One time I went to Cub and I ate like
That's
I ate
not
an
illegal.
apple.
And it's
You
not
just have to pay for
it's
it.
not illegal. You
Yeah.
just have to pay for it, but like it's like etiquette and like the guy. I haven't even gotten to the guy yet. The woman. Oh yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking of a different couple, but sticking with this couple, the guy was probably I thought he was intoxicated by something. Because the wife or the girlfriend, she seemed fine. Like she knew like what she was doing, but like the guy definitely he was under the influence of something. Like I was ready to get my manager Kent and just like dude.
Kent,
what
your
the fuck?
manager who?
The
Do I have to censor that out, Carl?
Fuck no. You don't have to censor.
Okay, it wasn't a last name. We're fine.
So anyway, I'm almost getting Kent over here, and like, bro, do I have to call 911 for this shit? Because this child could potentially be in like danger. It's like 10:30 p.m. He's with like a parent under the influence of something. Like the wife seems fine, so I'm just not going to do anything. I'm going to let them go. But there's another case where I had this couple come in at like 10:40. They bought a couple packs of Skittles. And they bought like 1 Diet Coke, and they came through my line, and then they everything's going fine. Like this like woman, like 40-year-old woman and the 40-year-old guy. 40-year-old woman's doing all the talking, like okay, like thank you, here's my money, and then like they're done. I think they're walking away, and then suddenly, because of course since it's crackhead hour, the guy. He gets a bit closer to me, which it kind of makes me
Oh, the
uncomfortable.
intoxicated guy from before?
No.
Or is this
It's
different story?
Different.
It's a different guy.
Different guy.
Okay.
So he like motions forward to me and he's like, you know what? And then you know how you wear a name tag and like pisses you off when people
Yeah.
thank you, Lucas, and they read your name tag very obviously.
Sometimes I don't know if people know me or not.
Exactly, that's the worst part. Like, okay, like how the hell do I know?
Someone
you?
came up to me and was like, Carl, actually, you probably know who this is, because she came up, I was doing in the drive-thru, she's like, you know who I am, right? That's always a good thing to hear. It was someone who I used to go to daycares with, grandma. So I've seen them twice in my entire life at the person's grad party and then their younger brother's grad party, which you were also at both of those grad parties because you coincidentally know who those people are. We're not going to name names.
Okay, yeah, I got you. So it was the teenage girl or the one that's in
It was
college
the
right now?
grandma of them.
Oh, it was the grandma.
So
of them?
I've never talked to them before
okay,
once.
Okay,
And they're like, oh, you know me, right, Lucas? It's like, bruh.
yeah.
What did you say?
I said, and they're like, you know, I'm so and so's grandma. I was like, oh, okay.
So like, I hate how this story like has been like 5 minutes long with
Right,
all these
that's
tangents.
fine.
But anyway, so the woman goes through. She's been doing like all the talking throughout the entire transaction. Everything seems fine. And then suddenly the guy says, why, thank you. He reads my name tag. And then he's like, Karl. Thank you, Karl. I have a little bit of something to give you here. He gives me a small pamphlet of like a comic book strip almost.
Really?
Was this guy on drugs?
No, he gives me like he literally pulls out from his like Sheldon Cooper like pencil pocket. Like he pulls out like a
His like AVGN like pen.
He pulls out a pocket book of like a comic book, you know?
Uh-huh.
He gives it to me and he's like, there's a couple of really good stories in here. Maybe you should read it. This man was with the Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, I have a... Okay, yeah, okay.
This man was and then I read it and like, oh wow, this is actually a good story. And then I threw it in the trash. But anyway, like if you're a part of something, like please don't go out of your way to like make other people like
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Somebody came in.
like we did this in like the 1600s to the Native Americans, and looked how it turned out.
Okay.
There was war, and there was
Jack Dunn's been studying for history. I had someone similar. I had a story that I completely forgot about until you mentioned that. Someone came up to me and was like, talking to me. He's like, "How's your day?" He's like, "Blah blah blah. What's your name?" Blah blah blah. And he said this whole thing, and I'm like, "Well, would you like anything to eat?" And he goes, "No, I just wanted to talk." And hey, here's my my card, and here's a little pamphlet.
Oh, man.
Maybe you should call sometime and we can have dinner sometime. And I'm like,
that's the worst.
and the pamphlet was about religion, and I told my dad, he's like, because my managers were like, no, throw that away.
Yeah.
You can't be reading that. And
the thing about my experience,
my dad said I should have kept the number so he could call and say, if you ever invite my son to a dinner ever again, I'll kick your ass. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't say that.
What happened was
he didn't want me to go to. Obviously, he didn't want me to go to the dinner.
This guy who gives me this pamphlet of information, right? And then I show it to my manager. Wasn't Kent this time. I show it to my manager, and then he says, "Oh, is that one of the ones we've been seeing around the store?" This person would walk around the store and place it next to items.
No way.
So when people would go shopping, they would like discover it and have like a, "Oh my gosh, I've discovered Jesus" moment, like the Mormons
Really?
did during the gold rush.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Dropping a lot of history references.
Like, you can't see this, but like Lucas, is
No,
like,
no,
whenever
shit.
he gets bored, he just starts like drawing on a piece of paper, and some of the
Yeah.
things that he's drawing are very funny.
Right.
All right.
I drew Sans.
Yeah, you drew.
And Jack Dunn did his episodely penis that he draws on my paper. Yeah.
okay.
So you have a story, Jack, to tell?
Yeah.
About relating to customers? Or is it
It's
completely
relating to
is it off
customers.
topic?
It's relating to customers, but I don't work anywhere. It was just something I witnessed. So I was like fucking. This was like when I was 5, right?
Right.
My family and I just moved to the town we live in right now,
Uh-huh.
and so we go to fucking Green Mill. We have a Green Mill in our town.
Uh-huh.
And this guy, we're sitting at a table, kind of semi-close to the bar. I somehow remember this because it was, like, really disturbing.
Right.
But, like, this guy's obviously drunk off his ass.
Okay.
And,
Don't
like,
you just love getting drunk at a place so manly as Green Mill?
Yeah.
Like,
just shut the fuck up.
you know what?
I'm just sorry.
No, Carl's joke was pretty funny, Jack. I don't know why you interrupted him.
I'm sorry. Continue, Karl.
You were telling a story, Jack.
Yeah. So finish your story.
You're the one who needs to continue.
So, like, finish your story.
Oh,
Bitch.
So I was at the fucking Green Mill.
You at the Green Mill, okay.
And this guy, like, starts swearing and fucking breaks his and, like, throws his fucking beer bottle onto the floor.
Like
and,
Thor.
And, like, he yells at the bartender, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you!" And
Really?
I was like, what the like, in my 5-year-old head, I was like, what the fuck just happened? And my parents were like, let's just get out of here. And
I could picture your dad saying that.
yeah, it was just like,
they'll let anybody in this place, huh?
yeah, and that was like, I was like, oh god.
It sounds like a GTA thing, like.
Yeah, like Trevor's.
Yeah, I feel like someone said that in GTA, like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Okay, but this has nothing to do with GTA.
Yeah.
I feel like what you're saying is you met a real life GTA
I did not meet a
character.
IRL Trevor.
Right. Trevor.
What was Trevor's last name?
Phillips.
Trevor Phillips. Damn.
Trevor Phillips Industries.
At the end of GTA,
TP Inc.
at the end of GTA 5, it asks you to kill one of the 3 main characters, or you don't know this yet, but like there's another option where you don't kill any of them,
Which is the correct option to do.
But my dumbass, I chose to kill one of them, and I chose Trevor.
Did you think C was kill all of them?
I thought
You
that
thought
C was
kill
all
Franklin.
I thought
That's
that C
what
was
Liam-
kill Franklin.
That's
yeah.
what my friend Liam thought. He was like, I didn't want Franklin to die. He's my favorite character. Which obviously
I'm like,
Franklin is
Franklin's
awesome.
the most OP character because of the driving.
Because of the drive.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
that's so
I can't
OP.
tell you how much times I would literally just be going like 100 miles per hour down like the small street because I could
Yeah.
literally maneuver anything, but I would hit one thing and Franklin would just fly out of the car like
because Franklin
so far.
doesn't wear his seatbelt.
No, Franklin does not care about a seatbelt at all. I wish some of the things in like the single player in that game were in the multiplayer.
So do you
Exactly.
think that when, like, because Franklin, if when he gets on a motorcycle, he puts on the helmet, like if you sit there for a couple seconds,
Right.
Do you think that he'll put his seatbelt on, like if you sit there in the
No.
car for a
No.
couple seconds?
That's the thing they're gonna add in. They might add in 6. They might have like a button which it takes a little longer, but you can put your seatbelt in, but you also take less damage from crashing.
like,
yeah,
crashing
and they
into
should
shit.
have turn signals.
Why would they?
Why the
that
fuck would
that
you
just
have
should be an
turn signals?
automatic thing that happens when you turn right. There's really no reason to have a turn signal.
Whenever
Well,
you like
it would be fun.
drive across the line, like there's like a zone,
Mm-hmm.
like a regulated zone, like that's when like the game programs into the turn signal.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool. But
People were saying that GTA 5 was way too realistic. Like there's a sketch.
it literally is Los Angeles.
Well, yeah, no, but they were saying like there's like a mission where you have to do yoga, and it's like boring.
Well,
But there's also a mission where you go to a strip club.
There's
So-
also a mission where you go into the fucking FBI building and steal information.
There's
from
also
the
a mission where you take a plane, fly it into the back of another plane, and then
Yeah, that's my favorite.
pilot it, and then jump out of it, and then what do you parachute? I
Yeah,
don't-
you parachute, you
Okay.
skydive from that said plane, and it crashes into the fucking Pacific Ocean.
And there was also a part of the game where you are on a dirt bike and you go off a ramp, land on a train, drive up the train,
Yes.
and then blow up the bridge or whatever.
The whole
when it's
fucking
going over.
bridge
The
collapses.
train falls into a river and you have to swim underwater and get the shit
and
out
you
of
have
the
to
train.
jump out of the train before it fucking hits.
That game was awesome.
That game was great.
That game, it was one of the like my parents, they don't really give a rat's ass about like what games I play, but that's the one game they're like, nope, you can't play that until you're 18. But then I think just for Christmas for shits and giggles, because I assumed I wasn't gonna get it, I put GTA 5 on, and they said they were like, might as well.
Yeah.
So I got GTA 5 for Christmas
So-
this year, and I stopped playing Spider-Man, and I just played that whole game. Spider-Man was also a really good game.
What I did was, like, when I got GTA, it was for my 15th birthday.
Uh-huh.
Driving home, and we were at a Stillwater GameStop, and no, that has zero importance at all. But anyway, I go to pick up the game, and it's miraculously priced. Like, it's like $20.
I know, right? It was really cheap.
Anywhere else, it's like, for years, it's been, 5 years since GTA 5 was released?
Yeah,
It's been like
2013
It's
it
like
came out.
$60. Like, Target would never drop the price. Like, $60 always. But then when in a GameStop saw it for $20, I said, okay, I actually like need to get
Because
this.
it's one of the best selling games of all
Yeah.
time.
So I pull up to the counter and, like, you know what? Credit to the guy that was at GameStop who assumed that my 14-year-old looking ass was like over 18. But like, he's like, can I see some ID? And then I'm like, oh, fuck. So I had to run out to my mom's truck, get my mother to come in and buy it. And like, what she said, why do you want to have this? I said, for driving practice, because I'm about to get my
No
license."
way she fell for that.
Yeah, she did.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
Yeah, my parents, they knew about like the whole like the hot coffee thing in GTA 3.
What the fuck? How?
Because it was on the news. That was one of the main things. It was like how Mortal Kombat
No,
was
it was
on
in
the news.
GTA San Andreas.
Well, that's what I meant, San Andreas.
What's this hot coffee thing?
It was like a mod it wasn't even in the main game. It was like in
It
the
was
coding.
something that was planned to be in the game, but they scratched
But it was in the coding where there was like a sex or scene
Mission,
in the game.
yeah.
Yeah.
So why is it called hot coffee?
That's what just was. That's probably what it was called
Like
in
the
the
mission
code.
name?
There's some obvious I know that we're all missing because we're dumb teenagers. But
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like you fuck.
So I was like-
fuck your girlfriend, pretty much.
I was mad at my parents because I was like, okay, you can't be mad at this game because of something that another game didn't even have in it.
They did mod the game though to make that
Yeah,
mission
yeah.
playable.
I should play that game because of all the
I have it on my PS3.
yeah, because there was one time where you could get a bundle with GTA 5 and San Andreas for $30.
I should have done
like,
that.
One time I was trying to trick my dad. I was like, hey, you should push X, and it was to buy the game. And so if he yelled at me, I'm like, you bought it, not me. Now I have.
Did it work?
No, he was like, let me see, and then he came in and he was like, haha, you think I'm dumb. But it's like, because I knew that if I did get it, then he would and he saw me playing it, then I would get kicked out. Or he would just delete it, so I just waste $30.
Remember that story you told me in middle school about the printer and
Oh, yeah, that's the most mad my dad has ever gotten to me was when I needed to print. My parents were printing off a paper and off my print. The only printer in my house at the time was in my bedroom because I got a printer with
of
my
all places
computer, and so I was taking a nap, and my mom printed off like 80 copies of this one thing. And then I went downstairs and was like, Mom, you printed off like 80 copies. My dad yelled at me and said, don't talk to your mother that way. And that was the most mad he's ever gotten at me. And yeah. Jack Dunn, you've been known to take off your parents.
tick off my parents?
No, like first time like I met you, you're like, oh, my dad always yells at me. I'm like, oh, maybe I don't know what this guy is. I go over to your house. We're playing Mario Kart Double Dash, and you're like, oh, what the fuck? And your dad goes, Jack, stop swearing. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. Maybe that's, I don't know, whatever.
I know.
And then immediately, like 5 minutes later, you're like, fuck! And your dad was like, Jack, what did I tell you? And I'm like, okay, I see how this relationship goes. He thinks that he's getting really mad because he just keeps doing the same thing. But one time I was over at your house and I was sick and I was in your basement and you brought your trash can downstairs.
That was in my just a little metal trash can.
Right, just a small trash can because I was blowing my nose. We wanted something,
to put Kleenex
to put Kleenexes in. And your dad was like mad at you for bringing that downstairs. I was like, what the fuck? So it kind of ranges of stuff that's your fault versus not your fault.
That is true. Sometimes I'm a cunt to my dad. Sometimes he's a cunt to me.
Say all you want about your dad. At least your dad doesn't make you go fishing every weekend.
Yeah,
like
it's not every weekend. It's certainly not every weekend.
I can't remember the last time I went fishing.
I can. I got a big northern. I think I might have caught 2 actually.
I think I might have.
I was talking to this one kid like next to me. By the way, the person we were talking to who always goes fishing is Karl. So that's why I decided to mention it.
It's not always. It's just this last...
Or hunting.
Well, yeah.
Or going to his cabin.
Yeah.
So, essentially...
If you haven't...
Such a fun... I gotta stop saying so essentially.
If you haven't caught on, Karl is a very theatrical kid, and he's not the kind of hunting type. So it's very funny when he hears every week like, oh, you want to do something? Nah, sorry, I gotta go to my cabin to hunt. No, so it's like it's a very big contrast.
The next 2 months, I have 2 weeks off. Out of the 9 weeks within the next 2 months, I have 2 weeks off. One of them is because show choir is forcing me to have it off, thank God. And the other one is because I have to work every 6 weeks to not lose my job.
Right.
So, those are... And then it'll be... Wisconsin bow hunting, Minnesota gun hunting, and which is the most work out of all of them because we have to drive a while to set shit up, and then Wisconsin gun opening. Now, don't get me wrong, hunting when you're actually in the stand and like everything's actually going well and you're just like on your phone, one ear bud in the ear, the other ear is like listening for like rustling leaves. Like that's actually like honestly fun, but like it's so much effort, and I know I could get some hate for this, but like it's so much effort to set the stuff up, and like maybe like you're one of those people, like when I say you, I mean like if you're listening to this and you go hunting, maybe you're one of those people that has like a permanent stand set up in a field somewhere that's like really easy to set up, and you only have to bring things like food and water and like your weapon to bring. But no, every single season I have to set up the stand. That's a whole day in itself. And for 3 different seasons, I have to set up the stands. And then we actually go hunting, where you wake up super early on a weekend in high school, I might add. I pray for rainy days. And I just thank Jesus that the Twins are in the playoffs, so I have an excuse not to go hunting at night now. The Twins are playing.
Duck Dynasty made it look pretty fun.
Well, yeah, because Duck Dynasty's fucking fake.
Dude, that show was the shit back in like 2012. Or like, I don't remember what year it was, but
I tried to watch it, but I hated it.
Oh, yeah. My whole family was into it. I remember, like, if you go on well, I shouldn't say it, but, like...
My family was into the show Swamp People.
Oh, really?
I was like...
Was that the show where I was like, shoot him, Clint, shoot him?
Yeah.
Was that show?
Yeah.
My sister would do that. My sister did a perfect impression of that.
Over and over. It's just them fishing. They get an alligator on the line... And then it's just dramatic music.
Shoot him, Elizabeth! Shoot him!
They pull the trigger. It's the same thing for all of the episodes, but it's so cool to watch.
It's intriguing, yeah.
A&E actually had some... Like, did you ever watch Storage Wars?
Yes!
That show is actually pretty cool.
That show's hilarious.
We have to talk about Live PD. Because like,
okay, I don't think we have to talk about Live PD. Oh, I've never seen it.
Live PD, okay. I could watch that on YouTube. Like, they don't post every clip from Live TV because obviously it's like boring. But once you get like a good clip, they put it on YouTube, and those YouTube videos of Live PD, addicting to watch.
Like, it's like, what would you do?
It's like some of them are so good. Like I could don't watch it because if you watch one, you will honestly get addicted. They're that's
what
good.
I did with What Would You Do?
Yeah,
like I watched one clip from What Would You Do. And I'm like, now I'm watching it for like fucking...
That's what happens with me sometimes. Like, I need to take notes, and I'll be like, man, I did 3 lines of notes. I think I'm awarded with a YouTube video, and I just get strung into like shitty 2-minute and 30-second videos for like 15
But,
minutes.
like,
I'm like, I should probably get back to notes.
maybe
That's why it takes me so long.
Maybe this always happens, but it's like the meme of like no one YouTube at like 2 a.m. Jack, what are you staring at?
Oh, fuck.
Like you were like staring at like the staircase like with a creepy Joker smile. I was like, oh god, what the hell's with the staircase?
That movie comes out today, by the way. So if we're not going to talk about it right now because obviously it's not out yet. But
So-
I do plan on seeing it this week.
Basically, like whenever like it's like midnight and I'm like on YouTube, I get like the weirdest video recommendations. But my stupid in bed midnight Karl mind always says, yes, you must watch this video.
You need to know if you can cast obsidian and make a sword.
I must know if this stupid thing, which is obviously not possible in the real world, is possible.
That's kind of how Mr. Beast, not to shit on, like, he has a lot of those, like, titles like, man, I wonder what would happen if you shot a gun next to a bunch of magnets.
And like today in Spanish, we were doing this activity where you would like name a person and then say if they were Jack done flipped me off again. You would name a person and then you would say if they were like kind or like courteous or like jealous or egotistical or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
And you had to say if it was true or false. So you would have to make up some lies, but you would also have to make up like a bunch of true ones. And then the last one was like someone from the class. But the line came up about like, is this person like being true? So it was a lie. So this person isn't true. And the name that I chose for this line that isn't true, that isn't a truthful person, Jesse Smollett. I picked Jesse Smollett.
What the fuck is your
Okay,
problem?
first, I'm gonna just in case you're wondering, if you don't know what Karl's talking about, you are not alone, because I have no fucking clue
You
what
don't know
Karl
who
is talking
Jesse
So,
Smollett is?
there was
Jesse
this-
Smollett?
Jesse Smollett. So there was this guy in Chicago last year. Have you ever heard of Empire on Fox?
Yeah, the show, yeah.
Yeah, so he's
He's a star on
He's
that
a
show.
star of the
Okay.
show, and he like last year. I have no information in front of me, so like I'm just like paraphrasing this.
Uh-huh.
But like he got beat up basically. And
Okay.
He's black. Yeah.
Okay.
He's black, and he made up that at at 2 a.m. in Chicago or something, like just downtown Chicago, like a couple white guys beat him up.
Uh-huh.
And then they figured out that he lied about this.
So
So basically...
He paid a couple guys to beat him up so he could get clout, and then
Really?
he got exposed by the Chicago Police Department because he actually paid off these like guys to fake it.
It's kind of like the Logan Paul slap thing, where he faked, like, didn't he slap a guy in the face, but he was, like, paid to, like,
Yeah,
knock him out or whatever?
Yeah, he slapped this like huge, like not fat, but he slapped out this like
Yeah,
400-pound man.
large man, very
He slapped
muscular.
him in the face, and then he like fell to the ground like knocked out. And
Yeah, it's
there's
like, that's not real.
Logan's a muscular guy. I'm gonna give him that, but like, there's no way.
Yeah, with a slap, nonetheless. There's a lot. Well, that's the thing.
Like,
with
I
YouTube.
understand if he fell to the ground, but like not like out cold. Like you wouldn't be able to like. If I got slapped by Logan, I would probably like hit the deck like really hard. This guy was just like falling over. Like it took him like 10 seconds to
Right.
fall. Like Jack Dunn at a choir concert.
Okay, Karl.
Last spring, and I gotta say this: like, if you're sick, which all these things Jack was, he wasn't properly hydrated, he was sick, and then
This is the segment called "Shit on Jack."
and
Dunn
then he
on the
had a
podcast.
bunch of hot lights on him for a while.
and I did my whole men's.
Yeah,
I did the whole men's
last year we were
show.
in 2 different choirs. We were in one with boys and one with boys
So
and girls.
He gets through men's.
So we got
choir
through all the one with the
I
boys.
felt fine. Like
just fine, and then we get through our second song of our mixed choir, and then Jack Dunn. I can't tell it from his
I
perspective.
hit the deck right as the second song ends.
ended.
And our fucking choir director didn't even fucking realize that 2 people were holding me in a full Nelson because
Yeah.
I was out cold
And-
and I had to get dragged off of the stage.
When we say drag, his feet were actually
Yeah, it
being
was like a
dragged.
dead body.
A dead carcass was being dragged
and then
across the stage.
and then they didn't even like sit him on a chair or anything. They just laid him on the ground.
Yeah.
And pour water.
Well,
No. Oh, Karl, so close to the end of the podcast, and then you said another name.
okay, so Mr. Choir teacher gave me a chair, gave me some water. He gave me a high five too. And he was like, "It happens to everybody. It's happened to me. It will happen to a lot of people." And then our other choir lady who
Uh-huh.
directed us last year.
Yeah.
No. This one we haven't had. She's
okay.
yeah.
Oh, the one we don't have yet.
yeah.
Okay.
So there's another female choir director that wasn't the director of us last
So
year.
and she was like backstage as this whole thing was happening, and like she like gave me some ice. She like cooled me down, and like after that, one of my female friends.
Whoever that is, we're filming the podcast.
He's listening.
How is it so far? Okay.
That's good.
We're in the middle of recording episode 2 right now.
Just heard the story about the Frisbee in Walmart.
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't involved in that.
You better not have been.
No. We were all making fun of Joe Notch.
What?
We were all like, you were an idiot for doing that.
I know.
Okay.
It was funny.
Okay. Do you want me to cut this part out of or?
No, leave
don't
it.
care.
Okay.
Leave it.
All right.
Okay. And so
That was my dad, for context. Just came down and informed me that he was listening to episode 1. And he's like super against like, oh, I better not hear you fucking around in Walmart. So that's why I kind of was like, not
Why?
talking about it that much in the last episode. Because
Okay.
I knew that he was going to listen to it.
anyway, so what were we on about? Me fainting?
Oh, you fainting.
The other choir female director.
Oh, no,
was
you
like,
said
putting
one of your
ice on you.
female friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can I say her name?
Who is it?
Hallie.
Yeah.
Okay.
uh-huh.
So Hallie.
She's going to be on an episode later, according to her. So I
So
think it's
Hallie
Was
got
she-
Hallie got
was she
my.
in women's choir last year?
She was in.
She was in concert choir.
She was in concert and
So
women's.
concert choir is the mixed group.
Yeah, and so she finds my parents. My parents go backstage, calm me down. I go home. I'm sick the next day because I throw up like immediately when I get home. So I was like dehydrated as fuck, sick as fuck, dry as fuck,
Fuck. Let's just say it really loud.
and so that like week was like so bad.
I think you're cursed is what happens because
I was cursed last
I
year.
mentioned in the last episode about how pricey it is to go to like a Timberwolves game because I said we performed there and we sang the national anthem for choir, and we went there on April Fool's Day last year, and Jack Dunn was sick on that day as well and decided to show up to that too, and I'm like, I swear to God, if you faint again. After being sick again and coming to another choir thing
on the court
again,
of the Minnesota Timberwolves,
and on the
Now,
court that's going on.
Granted, the national anthem isn't being like
No, it's not on TV.
It's not on TV because
It
like
goes
they,
on Facebook,
they go to commercial. Just like imagine if not 13,000 people, but imagine if like 5,000 people that were in attendance that night saw you hit the deck. That would have been
The audience would have been like, oh, but then we started singing it and my legs started shaking. I was like, I swear, if I faint and after I post something on my story making fun of Jack Dunn for coming, that would have been the biggest karma of all time.
And then the funny thing is, during our spring concert, I got sick again.
Right.
Which was like, I was so pissed because like I was really looking forward to it, and then like
That was a good.
I
That's a good
felt
concert.
bad. I felt really bad because like it was like, I hope Mr. Blah 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 isn't mad at me, and I hope Mrs. Blah blah blah.
okay. Well, they're not going to get mad at you for
something I couldn't control.
Well,
But it's
you
just
could
like
have
I mean, the
You
only thing
could've
is that you
hydrated.
shouldn't have gone to the choir concert if you were
you
sick.
could've-
But
but, like,
I just didn't want to hit the deck.
the thing with the thing is that what was the general consensus is if you miss a choir concert, you have to go to a lesson with the teacher and sing every song by yourself to get the points for it, which is what we had to do in middle school, I think. But that's not the case in the high school one.
If you're sick.
So if he wouldn't have gone, there was no reason for him to go except for that he wanted to go because he thought he had to make the points up. He didn't want to have to do it again. But then it turns out that it was all for nothing. So that kind of sucked for you.
Which is why, and I was way more sick than when I hit the deck.
Right.
And I was like really bad. I don't know. Last year I just like was always like, I didn't get my flu shot last year, so that's probably why.
Oh, you anti-vax, Jack?
No, I got it this year though.
like
We just forgot. I
what
think.
happens with show choir is that when like we go to like Totino Grace competition like every
Where is that?
it's like North Cities. It's
Okay.
like 40-50 minutes away.
Okay.
We go there like every like middle of March. It's when they hold the competition. Everyone's sick that weekend.
Oh, really?
Everyone.
Is it just
That's
the rotation?
allergy season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I was so sick.
And we have a concert.
That was
a concert then during that.
yeah,
time,
because that's
too.
like my birthday region.
Yeah.
So I was so like destroyed. That's like the worst I've ever had influenza was like the days leading up to Totino Grace, the spectacular, like it's actually called the Totino Grace Spectacular. But anyway,
Totino's pizza roll. Spectacular.
So I still came to school every day because I'm a champ and I'm not gonna wuss out of going to school.
It's not wussing out.
Quote, mama didn't raise no bitch. Quote,
mama didn't raise no bitch. But anyway, so I keep going to school and then Saturday morning I wake up, I'm a bit better, but I can't really sing. Well, I can sing, but I can't actually like hit any like the big notes. But I can still dance and do everything fine.
And
so
you have a solo.
I didn't do the solo that day because I couldn't hit any of the notes.
So
it
your
went.
backup then?
Yeah, it went to someone else. But anyway, which is really fun because I got to do a show from like a different perspective of my solo. But anyway, we do the show and then I actually leave. I was kind of upset that I had to leave, but it's probably for the best so that kids like even like this. I was in the JV group last year. There was a kid on varsity who like actually could not physically come, and they
That's what she said.
The varsity choir actually won that competition, and then he had to receive his medal the next day at school instead of going to the competition. So sickness is a huge deal with like our choir department.
Oh yeah,
like
I feel like that it affects like choir stuff more than like I don't know. It's going to be controversial for me to say, but like normal sports.
Yeah,
like I'm not, like
Well,
not trying to say like. Oh, show choir doesn't count as because
if you have influenza,
sports is like a kind of like a
you can
toss-up
still play
term of
baseball
what
with
that is.
influenza, and you can
Yeah.
you can still like I'm treading into territory that I don't belong, but you can still play soccer with influenza, but you can't really sing when you can't
And dance.
Yeah, you can't.
And, yeah.
Well, like I could
I
still
mean,
dance.
you
to
you
Totino.
can't really play soccer when you're sick, but it's like you still like
You can still
if
physically
you-
do the activity.
Yeah, and if you don't feel good, you just don't. It doesn't matter. You just go off the field, and then that's it.
Yeah.
That's what in choir. Like you're up, you have to be there for like X amount of times doing
Yeah.
shit for the whole
And
time.
things have to be coming out of your face that sound good, but in
Exactly.
soccer, like you can cough and you can still go on with the game, and no one's going to.
And not just soccer, every sport,
Yeah, yeah.
everything.
Well, ladies and gents, we've
Well-
had a very fun hour and 10
Okay,
minutes.
Carl's decided that he is gonna
The host.
The host, yeah, no, that's fine. So we have officially passed the length of episode one. We're gonna decide. I don't know. An hour before, so before we started filming this, I looked, and the first episode had like 24 views. So I don't know. We're gonna check. This episode's gonna be detrimental because I feel like a lot of people obviously are gonna watch more. People are gonna watch episode 1 than episode 2.
Yeah.
No offense to you, Carl. Just how numbers work.
Yeah. And if you have stuck around to watch this episode, then we thank you. It means that you not only did you dip your toe into the water, but you dove in and you're coming with us on this journey. And when I say us, I mean Lucas, specifically Jack. I'll be here once in a while, but thank you for listening. Because
Carl's
it really
being
means
very
a lot.
deep, and it's very nice. And yeah, it's fun doing this.
It is.
It's very fun, and it's I don't know. I hope it goes well,
Yeah.
and I hope when we go to school on Monday that the teachers aren't like, oh well, you can't have this on the internet, because I literally spent so much time specifically working around like the school getting mad because I was like, we didn't talk shit about anybody.
We had to censor out some names.
We had to censor out names of other stories that people were in general. And then we just danced around topics that we thought that they wouldn't want. So we're just hoping that once episode... What are you doing? Oh, we just hope that once... that the fucking show doesn't get canceled while we're doing episode 2. And that's pretty much it. Karl, do you have anything you want to plug?
Plugging information.
No, wait. Don't plug your Instagram because then it can link to everybody else's Instagram.
Yeah, so just in general, if you haven't heard of Show Choir, please do some digging. It's really, really interesting.
This is like the devil's
Please-
advocate episode of the podcast.
Please watch the KSI Logan Paul fight. The KSI.
All right. Nobody watched the fight now that Karl messed it up.
But seriously though, Jack Dunn's abusing a horse over here.
Okay, that's not true. There's a stuffed horse, and Jack
stuffed
Dunn is
horse.
bored, so he's punching in the face. People are gonna take that out of context.
Yeah, really.
People are really gonna take that out of context.
Oh damn it! I want to make a joke
Just censor that, please.
I want to make.
Okay.
If you're gonna, I want to make a joke
Say-
so bad. But
All right, Karl. Before you say, Karl, you know what? We do this at the end of episodes. I think that if you want to say the joke, you should just be quiet. And that's the end of the episode, and that's how we're gonna end it. Bye.
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 Oh, okay, Karl. What the What's by A? Fucking the
By
scarlet
A.
letter. Cringe.
All right.